Ethan Campbell Wright, 2 times silver medal at World Championships. Like, I want to say I didn't see it coming, but also like you got to have faith in your man. I mean, he's the leader of our crew, and it almost seemed like this was bound to happen because he's had some really good results and some really good progression over the years, and came in 4th place early in the season, so it was there. It's just a matter of time almost, and just like everything came together on the right day, on the right time.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, you knew this was coming at some point. You've seen the success previous years when he was a junior, when he was a youth. You were kind of just waiting for him to break through at the senior level. Like you said, he's had good results in previous years, and earlier this season, but a podium on its own would have been a dream come true this year. But have 2 podiums, 2 silvers at World Champs when it matters most, when everyone is fighting for those medals. This is the pinnacle of the season for everybody. I think just speaks volumes to who Campbell is, the U.S. team. Kind of, they've put all their cards forward, and we're seeing it pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's crazy to think that he's 22 years old. So I mean, he's got I feel like so much ahead of him. I feel like in cross country skiing and biathlon, because it's such an endurance heavy event, you don't normally see athletes really peak until maybe their late 20s, early 30s. But for him to just come out swinging like this at such a young age, he's technically a first-year senior. Like, he could have gone to Junior Worlds last year had he wanted to. And the fact that he's already making a splash on the World Cup and then at the World Championships as well is crazy. It's kind of interesting when you're looking at his performance over his career, which is a very short, young career. It kind of seems like he has a knack for like stepping it up at the big event. You know what I mean? It kind of seems like he's got a knack for, I don't know, putting it together on the right day when it counts. I mean, he's got the World Championship. He has the Junior World Championship medal from 2 seasons ago. And he always seems to perform super well at the World Championships every year. So much so that, I guess the year of the Olympics, he needed a really good race, like the World Cup prior to the Olympics. And he was able to meet that criteria and meet that standard and end up qualifying for the Olympics at the very last minute. So yeah, it's just really cool to see, he's able to put it together on the right day,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you're going to have, be able to do that in biathlon, that's the dream right there. Because so much of this sport is just winning medals when it counts. And Campbell has shown he can do that. But as much as how awesome it is for Campbell, I think we also have to talk a little bit about Maxime Germain.
Absolutely.
I didn't mean to cut you off if you had more to say, but I mean, Maxime also had the best race of his career in that sprint also.
Yeah.
And backed it up with a really solid pursuit as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Maxime coming in 12th in the sprint is crazy. And it's kind of funny because I almost feel like Maxime, he was also due for a really good one because he had a couple relay legs where he was like either the top or the second fastest leg in the relay. There was a couple of races where he would have one bad shooting stage and come in like 20th or something. And the rest of his would be clean, skiing super fast. And you're just like, oh man, Max, you just need to put everything together on the right day. And sure enough, he was able to do that as well, coming in 12th, massive career PB. And yeah, you're right. I don't want to overshadow Maxime because that was an insane performance. And I mean, I don't want to put anyone on blast here, but I mean, think about a couple years ago, Jake Brown came in 12th at World Championships, and that was like head turning. It was like, okay, we got a lot of momentum here. We got something going. We got a guy that, has the potential to pop a top 10. And that literally just happened yesterday or 2 days ago. Yeah, it would have been yesterday when we were recording this. And it's completely overshadowed by this other guy who's like won a medal. And I don't know. I don't want to get like cocky because we're still the US. We're still growing. We still have so much to work on. And we can't get used to stuff like this because it's not It's just not something that, the US is known for in biathlon, so we can't get used to this. But I think it's cool that we're now achieving performances by our second, our third and fourth guys. They also, all four of them made the pursuit, which was great. We're now achieving performances that a couple years ago we would be super happy with, and it's our 2, 3, 4 guys who are now achieving those results. So, yeah, super exciting spot right now for US Biathlon. Also, I mean, I don't know about you. Like, we got the mass start coming up. It's going to be fun. We got the individual. Could be. I don't want to point fingers or anything, or do any curses. But I mean, I'm kind of liking Paul Schomer for the individual. I'm like, he just had a medal at the IBU Cup. I think that was a sprint event, but the guy's on right now. He's not shooting super well at World Champs, but I think he could be a dark horse for a crazy out of nowhere medal at the individual. But I'm personally looking most forward to the men's relay, because we've come up 4th. We were 5th at last year's World Championships, 4th in Soldier Hollow, and we got everything clicked right now on the men's team. I think the men's relay is going to be the one to watch.
I totally agree, and we saw this a little bit in Antolz, where even like Maxime didn't have a great start because he had a penalty lap on the first leg. He still kept the team in the running. Campbell had, up until this past week, I would say one of the best races of his season in that relay. So you can feel it. It's there. They just need to put it, all 4 guys together, need to have a good day. And I think even if Campbell has like an okay day and Maxime also has an okay day, they're still competitive with anyone else on their leg. I think the men's relay and the individual, like you said with Paul, if Paul can kind of get back to his usual ways of hitting targets, he's skiing, competitively on the World Cup. I think top 30, top 20-ish ski times.
Yeah.
Like, hitting targets in the individual with that like level of ski time is only going to do you wonders in the results at the end of the race. So it should be a really good rest of World Champs.
Yeah, and I think if you asked anyone on the U.S. team, any athlete or any coach, who's the best shooter in the program, they would probably point to Paul Schomer. So the fact that he's, doing well this week. Also, I mean, we're not even talking about how it's his first week back on the World Cup after his knee injuries. He's gone through so many trials and tribulations just to get back to the World Championships, sweetened a little bit by the medal on the IBU Cup last week, like I mentioned. Yeah, I mean, hands down, I think he's, if not the best, one of our better shooters on the team. And so the fact that he's competing in the sprint with poor shooting is pretty good sign, in my opinion. That's why I think he's kind of a dark horse to get a good sneaky medal. Because to your point, if you're doing a top 30 ski time and you can shoot all your targets, and maybe you get a little bit lucky with a miss here from Lygrid, or 2 misses from Samuelson or Jacqueline, suddenly you could be right in there, because that's just how biathlon works. But I want to go back real quick before we move on, because there's so much more that could be said about Campbell Wright here. But what I saw in today's race in the pursuit was true maturity, because we've seen Campbell do well in sprints before. He won the sprint at Junior World Championships, like I mentioned. He came in, I think, 4th or 5th. 6th. He came in 6th in Soldier Hollow for his first flowers ceremony. But he always followed up those really good sprints with kind of bad pursuits. Like, I don't know if it's a mentality thing. This is my personal opinion, because I was there. I was the coach for his World Championships, his Junior World Championships. I think he was so excited, and the weight was just taken off his back after he won his medal in the sprint. I think he was a little bit too relaxed in the pursuit, maybe, and that's maybe where that race went. But as he's growing, basically what I saw is he's growing a lot of maturity. There was a minute there. I was holding my breath for all 33 minutes of the race. Like, I was sweating bullets, because I was like, oh my God, he's going to mess it up. He's going to mess it up. He's going to fall around the turn coming into the stadium. He's going to have 3 misses in the stage. Like, I was holding my breath the whole time. But he just stayed so composed and did what he needed to do. And there was like a minute there where if he missed on his last shooting stage, he might have been knocked off the podium, because those guys behind him were right there and they were coming for him. But then when I turn it around, I look at the results, I'm like, oh my God, like if he hit that last shot in prone, in his first prone, he could have won. Like it's just crazy how like tightly packed and exciting this race was, but just really cool how he showed so much maturity. And we've just, from my perspective, I've seen him growing over the last 2 years to not someone who's just like, hey, I already won the medal. You know, I'm just out here having fun. He's still having fun, but he's doing it with a level of focus and a level of confidence that he's now able to still have fun and like come back the next day and still succeed. So I just wanted to point that out, because that's really what I saw in today's race. Like, I know everyone sees the silver, they see the backup or the back-to-back, but yeah, I thought for me, that was the most exciting thing about today's race for me.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think knowing Campbell and his personality, he's very just enjoy life. Everything's awesome. Just going to go around and enjoy everything. But when it comes to biathlon, he's so focused, and you can tell that he's hungry for it. He wants this so bad. The team wants it for him. Everyone in the biathlon community here in the US, and I'm pretty sure the whole biathlon community around the world, wants to see Campbell succeed. And we've gotten little tastes of it here and there, but putting it together in the sprint was amazing. I was so nervous the entire pursuit, just like you said, just waiting for that little like lapse or like little instance where the race just goes away. But that never happened, and Campbell looked calm, composed, in control the whole time. We saw his personality come out a little bit on that last shooting when he hit that last target. It looked a little rushed. It looked a little bit like, I'm just going to pull the trigger and hope it goes down. But he did it. I think this only makes next year at the Olympics that much more exciting. And, you know, he's done it. He's checked off the box of World Cup podium, World Championship medals. I think the next box or the next goal should be, and probably is, the Olympics next year.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're not even going to get into the business side of biathlon here, but I mean, what these medals do for U.S. biathlon going into the Olympic year is insane, because so much of the funding, so much of the support that you get from the U.S. Olympic Committee comes from, what are the chances you're going to win a medal? And if you have, you know, I don't know, if you have Michaela Schifrin on your team and it almost is like a shoe-in for 4 medals or for however many competitions she does, yeah, they're going to push some money towards you. If you have an athlete who's like kind of on that bubble, like Campbell, it's like, hey, not only are we trying to go for our first medal, but we got a serious guy who's like now literally proven that he can do it. Boom, here comes a ton of money. Let's make it happen. If you go into the Olympics and your team is like, best you can do is like 60th place, no amount of money is going to get them from 60th place to a medal contender in one season, especially not in biathlon. I mean, unless they're severely under-supported with facilities and equipment, and that's why they're coming in 60th. But yeah, this is going to do huge things for U.S. biathlon this year, and I'm really excited to see see what comes of it. But yeah, and last thing I also want to talk, I mean, I thought for sure that last shot was a miss too, because I had the exact same expression on my face. When he like let his rifle down and it was still black on the graphic, and I literally looked away for a minute to just be like, he missed it, like, damn it, and like I was about to scream. But then as my eyes are leaving my computer screen, it turns white, and I'm just like, oh my God, he hit it. Oh, crazy race. But and the craziest thing also, like, this is 100% an American biathlon fan experience, is I watched that race in bed because I woke up to watch the race. I'm not at the bar with all the fellow biathlon fans, you know, like other sports. I've been awake for 25 minutes, and I'm like, my heart rate's already going like 185 because Campbell's hitting darts. So
all the Europeans are enjoying their night at the bar, having beers, and we're waking up, haven't even had coffee or breakfast yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man. All right, let's talk about some other things because this has been a pretty exciting World Champ so far.
Mhm.